Stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the man from Leng. Thank you very much for joining me today. On today's episode, Jenny Barnes and Skids O'Toole are continuing their campaign in the Dunwich Legacy cycle. They are taking on Undimensioned and Unseen, the fourth Mythos pack. So they will be hunting some invisible abominations in the environs of Dunwich. For those of you who have been following this campaign, it's been a while since I recorded for it with Jenny and Skids, largely because I was quite worried about how Jenny and Skids would do in this particular scenario. I really wasn't looking forward to playing it with them because they both have... Jenny's only got a 3 willpower and Skids is a paltry 2. And you need to be able to take down these broods of Yogg-Sothoth with willpower instead of combat. And so I played a couple test games. The first test game they did a lot better than I thought they would. They managed to take down 3 of the broods. The next 2 test games didn't go so well. In one of them, I don't think they managed to take down a brood at all, and in the last test game I did, Skids died on turn 2 and Jenny followed him shortly thereafter. That was an ass whipping of epic proportions, that one. However, it is a new day, a new game. It's great to be playing Arkham Horror LCG. We are going to give it a try again. Jenny and Skids are starting off at the Dunwich Village. It's a 2-shroud location with 3 clues, and it has the action Resign, you hide from the creatures, and the action Move a brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once toward Dunwich Village if you want to bring them closer to you. For those of you who watched the Blood on the Altar campaign playthrough, we only had one of the characters was sacrificed to Yogg-Sothoth. That was Dr. Francis Morgan. So we end up with 5 broods that we have to deal with this game, which is, I think, a pretty tall order for Jenny and Skids. I find it kind of interesting that the better you do in Blood on the Altar, the harder this one is. If Jenny and Skids had... if I'd kept their first playthrough where they just tanked hard and everybody died, I think they'd only have to take on 1 or 2 broods in total, and this would be a whole lot easier. However, we did do the second playthrough, and they did very well, so now we have to deal with the 5 of them. One starts up here at the Blasted Heath, and the other starts down at Cold Spring Glen. Our agenda is 1A, Rampaging Creatures. Reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creatures seem to be invisible to the naked eye. At the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once toward a random location, and it has a doom threshold of 5. Our act is Saracenic script. The monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creatures be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whately's home in order to find the final sections of the otherworldly script. And it has the objective, only investigators at the Whately ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, and we need 2 clues per investigator. So that will be 4 clues we need in order to grab our esoteric formula, which is the only weapon that can fight the broods, and it is a 0-cost asset. It is a spell, and it has the action Fight. This attack uses willpower instead of combat. You get +2 willpower for this attack for each clue on the attacked enemy. Use this ability only on an abomination enemy. And so... we are playing Undimensioned and Unseen on standard difficulty. The skull is a -1 for each brood of Yogg-Sothoth in play, so that is a -2 currently, but it will get higher as the game progresses and more broods enter the table. The cultist is reveal another token. If you fail this test, take 1 horror. The tablet is a 0, however you must either remove all clue tokens from a Brood of Yog-Sothoth in play, or this token's modifier is a -4 instead. There are some tablets in the Chaos bag. I think I would be loath to remove the clues from the Brood of Yog-Sothoth, because that will be really the only way that Jenny and Skids have a chance of taking them down. So that'll probably end up being a -4. That's going to hurt. And the other thing is a -3. If this token is revealed during an attack or evasion attempt against a Brood of Yog-Sothoth, it immediately attacks you. I do not think there is a Elder Thing token in the bag, so at least we don't have to worry about that. Jenny and Skids have had a rough campaign so far. They're both starting with 2 mental trauma. Jenny picked up 1 during the Blood on the Altar due to that unfortunate placement of searching for Izzy. She has her Adaptable, her Streetwise, and the Powder of Ibn Ghazi, Seeing Things Unseen. Powder of Ibn Ghazi enters play with X clues on it, where X is the number of characters who survived the Dunwich Legacy in your campaign log. That would be 4. And as a free trigger, I can move 1 clue from the Powder of Ibn Ghazi to an exhausted Brood of Yog-Sothoth at my location. I believe Skids also has his Adaptable. And that's about it for him. We did make a couple changes. I can't remember what. Oh yes, Jenny used her Adaptable to swap out her Hard Knocks for Arcane Studies, so she can boost her willpower when it comes time to take down the Broods. She also purchased a second copy of Sure Gamble with some of her experience. Skids didn't end up with very much experience due to the hospital debts that was in play, so he decided to save his for a future goodies and future expansion packs. He did make a couple swaps. I believe I swapped a Hard Knocks for a physical training to boost his lowly willpower of 2 and give him a fighting chance. Now, at the beginning of this scenario, we have to add another weakness to our decks. It has to be an Injury, Madness, or Pact, so we will do that now. Jenny ends up with a Hypochondria, so that will go into her deck. And Skids, let us see what he will end up with. Skids, that's an Indebted. That's not going to help. That's not the right type. He ends up with Amnesia, so we will shuffle that in. We are ready to draw our opening hands. Jenny's going to be looking for her Arcane Studies, of course. Also, it would be helpful to have some investigation, either her Magnifying Glass or the ally that boosts her intellect. I can't remember his name offhand. So let's see how she does. There's a Sure Gamble. There's Leo DeLuca, a double or nothing. Searching for Izzy and a Manual Dexterity. We will redraw for the Searching for Izzy first. There is a Guts. I think the only thing I like in this hand is the Leo. So we will pitch all those. And so we get a second Leo, an Unexpected Courage, across space and time, and a Think on Your Feet. We will ditch that for a Sure Gamble. So not the greatest hand. I would have preferred to have seen some help for investigation between Leo and her Streetwise. That's going to get pretty expensive pretty quickly. So we will have to see how that goes. Let's see how Skids does. We'll just shuffle his deck up quickly. And he gets a Machete. That's always nice to see. There's Across Space and Time. Liquid Courage. That is amazing. Burglary. That could come in handy, actually. We could certainly use a lot of resources. Beat Cop is another strong card to get. That makes dealing with Whippoorwills a whole lot easier. So we will pitch the Space and Time for an Emergency Aid. Emergency aid heals damage, so I'm not crazy about that card. I kind of like the rest of the cards. The only thing I'm missing is the physical training. What do I pitch? Do I pitch something? We'll just draw. We get on the lamb. And that will do it for him. We are ready to begin the game, so I think we will... Jenny will gain a resource as her first action. Then she will spend all 6 as her second action to get Leo DeLuca out. So she has 2 actions left. It's only a 2, so it's a 3 versus 2. Or do we draw cards? That's the question. Do we investigate and at 3-2, which the odds aren't great? Or do we gain a couple resources and set up next turn? Or do we draw cards? I am gonna draw some card. No, Jenny needs the resources, I think. We'll take 2 resources. Alright, Skids, we're going to get that machete into play right away. Whoops. And I think we will also set up the Liquid Courage. I want that beat cop though. Have to wait till next turn. Or we can do burglary this turn. Can put the burglary down as our second action. We can use the burglary. Can go 3 versus 2. We could 3 versus 2, eh? Okay, we'll go 3 versus 2. Let's see how we do here. We get a -1, so hey, we succeed. We get 3 resources. Okay, so that helps us out quite a bit for next turn. We can get that beat cop down and the Liquid Courage. And Jenny, I'm a little worried about. She's not in the best position yet. We really need to get that Arcane Studies out. So let's see how we do here. We've got to move some broods. The brood at the Blasted Heath. He is going to go to Dunwich Village. That's not great. And the brood at the Cold Spring Glen is headed off to the Whately Ruins. So he's off over there. Alright. Not terrible. Not terrible. It's better than both of them coming to the village, that's for sure. Let's get some clues, or let's get some cards and resources. There's a magnifying glass. That's a nice card to see. And Skids will get... There's Across Time and Space. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Emergency aid, a machete, and a 45 automatic. Automatic would have been nice to take for that avian thrall. It's a lot easier to kill, but I guess we'll have to do without it this game, and we'll gain a resource. We move on to the first Mythos phase. We will go at a Doom. Jenny went first. Jenny gets the first encounter card. Let's see what we have. It is an Altered Beast. If there are no Abomination enemies in play, Altered Beast gains Surge. Otherwise, choose an Abomination enemy. Heal all damage from that enemy and attach Altered Beast to it. When you enter attached enemy's location or vice versa, take 1 horror. So we will put this... We are going to designate this brood as our bad brood. We're going to dump all the negative attachments on him. We probably won't be able to kill him, but at least we won't be spreading them around all the other broods where they can cause trouble. Skids' first card is a Rotting Remains. Oh, lovely. All right. That's Skids' Achilles heel, really, is the Rotting Remains and Frozen in Fears in this deck. That's a 3 versus 2. We do have the Liquid Courage, and we do have the On the Lam. What's the worst? We take 3, we go to 5, we put the Liquid Courage down. We can heal some. All right, we're just going to go straight up. 3 versus 2. Not great. There's a skull. That's a -2. So he's going to take 3 horror. That will put him at 5 out of 6. So we will need to get down that Liquid Courage here as quickly as we can. It is our turn, though. There are 3 clues, and we have this brood here, which we need to evade if at all possible. Now, Skids does have an On the Lam that will give him 3, so I think we will use that. Yeah, we'll pitch. Skids is going to go first. He'll pitch the On the Lam to give him a +3, so that'll be a 7 versus the brood's 3. So we're 4 up, and we get a -3. Thank goodness we were 4 up, or that could have been very bad. So the brood is exhausted. Skids is going to use 1 resource to play the Liquid Courage. We'll get that down. It has 4 supplies, and I think... do we take the risk of waiting a turn? That's the question. I'd really like to get this Beat Cop down. Yeah, we're going to get the Beat Cop down, I think. So when if we discard a card to the Liquid Courage, we don't lose him. The Beat Cop does give us a bit of a sanity buffer as well. He's just too useful. He gives you the +1 combat, and he gets you... he can kill Whippoorwills, which I despise. I loathe those birds. All right. Jenny can use the Powder of Ibn Ghazi to put a couple clues on that exhausted brood. So we will do that. She will play the Magnifying Glass for free. We still have 4 actions. That's pretty nice. She is at a 4 versus 2. Alright, first action. 4 versus 2. There's an Elder Sign. That gives her +1 for each resource, so she gains a clue. We will do it again. That is a success. And we've got 2 left. Might as well keep going. Don't see any reason to stop. There's an auto fail. And the final one is another Elder Sign. So good turn for Jenny there, picking up all 3 clues at the Dunwich Village. All right, that's going to be their turn. We need to move the broods around. Let's move the brood at the Whately Ruins. First of all, our bad brood is going to stay at the Whately Ruins. And the brood at the Dunwich Village, he is headed to Cold Spring Glen. So he will head down here. Okay, we've got nothing else on the table we've got to worry about. Let's draw some cards. There's the Arcane Studies. Nice timing. We'll bring up the, there's a couple more resources for her. Skids has no cards in his hand. He gets an evidence. That's fine. We have our beat cop, which is going to hopefully help us. And let's, I guess we're just at the second mythos phase. Skids went first, so he will get the first encounter card. It is a attracting attention. Each brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy in play moves once toward you. So the brood at Cold Spring Glen comes back. The brood at the Waitley Ruins, let's move him down to Cold Spring Glen. That surges into Sordid and Silent. Attach it to our location at the end of the round. Each investigator at attached location takes a horror. And when the agenda advances, discard it. So that is going to stay there. But we are planning to leave, so we will not be here, hopefully, at the end of this turn. That was Skids' 2 cards. Let's get Jenny's card. There's the whippoorwills. Can hear them calling. They are going to hang out there. We are going to deal with them right now. What can we do? We've got the beat cop. He can take care of the whippoorwill easily enough. Is that a fast action? That is a fast action. That is a free trigger, so we don't have to necessarily do it. Jenny can do the moving and evading, I think. Okay, Skids is going to trigger his beat cop for 1. So we will do that and damage it to kill the whippoorwills. Jenny is going to go first, though. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Jenny is going to go first. She is going to try to evade the brood. That's a 3. So she is at 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3. And we get another Elder Sign. Well, look at this. Elder Signs aplenty in this game. So the brood is evaded. That was Jenny's first action. Jenny's second action, she's moving to 10 Acre Meadow. We will flip that. Ten Acre Meadow is a 2-shroud location with 3 clues, and it has the free trigger. You set a bait using a live animal. Each investigator in 10 Acre Meadow may place one of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in 10 Acre Meadow. So we are baiting them with a local cow, or hopefully. So each investigator may place 1 clue. So it would be helpful if Skids got some clues out of this as well. So that was evade, move. She's got 2 actions left. She is investigating at a 4 versus 2. So we will do that now. First, that's a success. And second, that's a success. Jenny grabs a couple clues. We are in position to get our esoteric formula. Alright, Skids is going to get out of there. However, He does have the burglary. We could burgle, move, liquid courage. I don't really mind losing the evidence. Yeah, let's try that. Burgle for 3 versus 2. That's a failure. Move, and we will use the liquid courage on himself to heal a horror. And we make a 2 versus 2 test. If we succeed, we heal an additional horror. No, we don't. So we have to discard a card at random, so we will lose our evidence. Alright, no problem. No problem. The broods are on the move. Let's see where they're up to, where they're going. Brood at Cold Spring Glen. He's headed towards the Blasted Heath. And the brood at Dunwich Village. He is headed off to Dunwich Village. So Dunwich Village is being stomped into a mud hole by the broods. Jenny and Skids will get some cards and resources. Jenny gets an emergency cache and a couple resources. Skids will get a perception and a resource. Ready those cards. We will go to our third Mythos phase. Jenny went first, so she gets the first card. It is a Unhallowed Country. That is annoying to have with Leo DeLuca on the table. Cannot play ally assets and treat the printed text box of ally assets you control as blank at the end of your turn. Test 3. If you succeed, discard Unhallowed Country. So we will want to get rid of that as quickly as we can if we want to continue. Skids will get the next card. Skids. Skids and the Rotting Remains. Oh. What a pain. Well, he doesn't have anything to help him except she has an unexpected courage she can pitch. But that only brings Skids up to a 4 versus 3. Oh, Skids. Could Skids be going down? Oh, Skids is going down. -3. Oh. So he's a 0, so he takes 3 damage and he's done. Oh, yay. Okay. So Skids is driven insane. Oh, no, wait a sec. He is not driven insane. He is pretty close to insane, but not insane yet. He was at 3. I just want to check something here. Was he at... yeah, he was at 4. That's where he was. Okay, so Beat Cop, you're going to have to take the hit here. Beat Cop takes 2. And Skids will take 1. No, I think that's fine. Because it was 4 versus 3, so it's 1 versus 3, so he takes 2. So the Beat Cop takes both and will keep Skids in the game. Oh, that was close. My heart was in my throat there for a second. A repeat of one of my test games where Skids was dead on turn 2. All right. No more Rotting Remains, please, in counter deck. Skids' sanity is already pretty precarious. That's going to do it for the Mythos phase. So now we are going on to the investigators. Who wants to go first? Skids really needs some cards. He also needs some, well, he's got some resources and he's got some sanity. So Skids is going to move to the Whately Ruins. It's a 3-shroud location with 2 clues per investigator. Each investigator at Whately Ruins gets -1 willpower, and it has the free trigger. You hurl a nearby canister of paint at the monster. An investigator in Whately Ruins may place up to 3 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in the Whately Ruins once per game. Skids will do that. He's got to heal. We've got to get his sanity back down here. So we will spend liquid courage. So he is making a 2 versus 2. 2 versus 2. Come on. Yes! That's what we want to see. Alright, so he heals another sanity. And he gets to keep his perception. Awesome. That went extremely well. We'll draw a card as well. There's a vicious blow. Good stuff. Okay, Jenny's turn. Jenny has a blank Leo, so she only gets 3 actions. She's a 4/2 though, so we could clear the clue off this. We can clear the clue at 10 Acre Meadow. +1, that works out very well for us. And she will move as her second action. We will spend the clues we need to advance our act. So there's 4 clues down the drain. So we advance to Act 2A. Obtaining the formula, and it has 2 blocks of text. You have to check the campaign log if Dr. Armitage survived the Dunwich Legacy. You read the first part, and if he died or if he was sacrificed to Yog-Sothoth, you read the second. Fortunately, Dr. Armitage has survived our campaign. There! Armitage sighs a breath of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated the last of it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I'll have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Each investigator puts 1 set aside esoteric formula into play. So Jenny gets 1, and Skids gets 1. And we advance to Act 2A. With the formula in hand, it is, they must be destroyed. With the formula in hand, you finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc in Dunwich, but only if you can survive long enough. Defeat as many Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemies as you can. If there are no copies of Brood of Yog-Sothoth in play or set aside, we advance. So the task is ahead of us. We need to try to kill as many of these things as we can. That was Jenny's second action. She only gets 1 more because Leo is blank due to Unhallowed Country. I think we're going to put we will put her arcane studies into play. So now she's ready to go. We can now attempt to take down some broods. Alright, that was her third action. Broods are on the move. Let's see where they go. Brood at the top with the 2 clues. He's headed to the hop yard. That's fine by me. And the brood with the altered beast is headed to the Dunwich village. So he's going to stay there and destroy some more shacks or whatever is in the Dunwich village. I can't imagine there's very much left in the Dunwich village by now, considering how many broods have been wandering through there, trashing stuff on their way. We have to make a test for Unhallowed Country before I forget. It's a 3 versus 3. Do we have anything we can pitch is the question. No, we don't. So we're going to have to spend some resources to make, we'll add 2 with Arcane Studies to make it a 5 versus 3. Is that going to be enough? That will be enough. And we get Leo back. Okay. We get some cards and resources. Jenny gets a Unexpected Courage. And Skids, oh, there's Amnesia. Choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand. Well, that's about as good a timing as you can hope. For that, we'll pitch the Perception and keep the Vicious Blow. Easy. Easy choice there. Skids will gain a resource. We are on to the 4th Mythos phase. Skids went first, so Skids will draw a Sorted and Silent. Alright, so we don't want to stay there any longer than we have to. And Jenny will get a Towering Beasts. Attach to a brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy in play. If that enemy is at your location, you take a damage. It gets +1 fight and +1 health. So we're going to dump that on our bad brood. He can suck up all those bad negative attachments so we don't have to worry about them. And we will get to go. Now, I think it would be good. We do have a shot at ambushing this brood at the Devil's Hop Yard, which could give us a pretty big advantage. We could take that brood down if we were fortunate. As much as I like the 4 clues here, I think they're going to be kind of difficult to grab. We do have 4 actions with Jenny though, so let's move up there. We will move to the Devil's Hop Yard as our first action. Devil's Hop Yard is a 2-shroud location with 1 clue per investigator, and it has the free trigger. The creature follows you into the mud. Each investigator in Devil's Hop Yard may place 1 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in Devil's Hop Yard, limit once per game. Alright, fair enough. I think we want to leave a clue there for Skids just in case, because each investigator can play, so Skids needs a clue. So Jenny was moved. She gets 3 actions. Second action will spend the emergency cache to gain 3 resources. Third action, we will investigate. She is a 4 versus 2. And that's a -2, so that's a success. And as her 4th action, I think we're going to draw a card. There's a machete. Alright. Good enough. Alright. Skids' turn. Skids has Zippo for, he's got a Vicious Blow. That's about it. But the Vicious Blow is only going to help us against other creatures. But he could go and grab that clue and maybe burgle as well. So let's do that. Skids will move as his first action. He will investigate 3 versus 2. Or do we just... do we draw some cards? He really needs to restock his hand, I think, a little bit more than gain that clue, because that brood already has 2 clues on it. Jenny's got the resources she needs to take out the brood if necessary. Skids is going to draw a card, I think. There's an unexpected courage. We'll draw one more. There's Zebulon Waitley. He gives him +1 intellect, or +1 willpower. That, we want to get him down, for sure. That's awesome. We need, oh, and he's got 4 sanity too, holy cow. Alright, we need to get him down for Skids, like, right away here. That will do it for the investigator's turn. We have some broods to move around. I'm quite curious. The brood at the Blasted Heath. He does indeed come to the Devil's Hopyard. Right into the mud. That's what we want you to do, buddy. The big nasty brood at Dunwich Village. Will he continue to wreak havoc? No, he moves off to 10 Acre Meadow. I think he's finally satisfied that he has destroyed the village. All right. We are going to be advancing our agenda this turn, which means we're going to get our 3rd brood. So we will need to try to kill some broods here. Jenny gets a card and 2 resources. Okay, the perception is helpful, I guess, if we need to do more investigating. And Skids will get a card. There's another vicious blow. Well, and a resource. And we will be advancing. Agenda 1B, Calamity Strikes. An old pickup truck rolls to a stop along the weathered trails of Dunwich. The driver, Joe Osborne, calls out to you through a shattered driver's side window, the truck's engine still running. "It's over at the Eric's farm," he shouts. "Done blasted their place apart. Poor Henry and Martha." You ask Osborne for the location of the Eric's homestead, and it confirms your worst fear. For that attack to have occurred recently, there must be more of the monsters on the loose. Shuffle the encountered discard pile into the encounter deck. We will take care of that right away. So we will get to hopefully we won't be drawing any more of those nasty ally blanking things. And a random brood shows up. Where is he going to appear? He is at Cold Spring Glen. Fair enough. All right. We are... that will advance us to agenda 2A, Biding Its Time. Has some nice flavor text there from H.P. Lovecraft, The Dunwich Horror. And it has a forced effect at the end of the enemy phase. Move each brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once toward a random location. And it has a doom threshold of 6. We need to draw some encounter cards. Jenny's going first. Jenny gets the creature's tracks. You must either take 2 horror or spawn a set-aside brood at a random location. It's a good... I don't think I want another brood quite yet. I'm going to take the horror. And Skids. Skids gets Eager for Death. Test 2. Increase difficulty by 1 for each damage. If he fails, he takes 2 horror. It's a 2 versus 2. He is not, we're not pitching Zebulon, that's for sure. Jenny wants to hang on to that. I guess we'll just go 2 versus 2. That almost guarantees we're going to take 2 horror though, doesn't it? Oh well, we have to do it. Yeah, that's a 0 or a -4, so it'll be a -4, so he'll take 2 horror. We do have our liquid courage though still. Alright, it's brood time. We are going to take one of these suckers down if it kills me. Alright, so this brood, Jenny is sitting at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 6. She is going to pitch her unexpected courage to make that a 9 versus 6. And a resource for arcane studies to make it a 10 versus 6. First attack. We hit. We do 1 damage. Second attack. Skids will pitch his unexpected courage to give her +2. So we're at 9 versus 6. And we'll burn 1 to make it 10 versus 6. So -2. It's taken 2 damage. Alright. Jenny is going to spend... We're at 7 versus 6. 3. 10 versus 6. Come on. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is 1 dead brood. Jenny and Skids do it. They do it. We'll add that to our victory display. Goodbye. That was the 3rd action, so we get 1 more. Let's see. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Jenny could investigate. Pick up another clue so we can set up an ambush at... Oh, these sorted and unseens have to go back into the deck as well. We need to shuffle those back in. We'll do that now. Jenny and Skids, what do we do? What do we do? She's got 1 action left. We didn't actually use the ability here. Unfortunately, this brood is fairly far away. He'd need to make two trips to get up to the Devil's Hop Yard. Do we leave that clue for Skids to grab, or do we take it ourselves? Each investigator may place. We don't know what that one does. So it's really to our benefit for Skids to get that clue. So Jenny is just going to draw a card. There's a manual dexterity. Alright, Skids. Skids is going to use 3. Oops. He's going to play 3 to bring out Zebulon. There we go. Now his sanity's on a little firmer ground. Now he's at a 3. And after he succeeds at a willpower test on a treachery card, he can exhaust Zebulon to draw a card. Skids is going to investigate the Devil's Hop Yard. He's a 3 versus 2. Fortunately, Jenny does have a perception she can pitch to make him a 5 versus 2. So we will do that now. That's a -2, so that's a success. So Skids will get a clue. And Skids has one action left. Did we draw encounter cards for that? I sure hope so. Just want to check here quickly just to make sure that we drew encounter cards for that. Yeah, we did. Okay, good. Everything is okay. Alright, so Skids has one action left. Does he have anything in his hand he cares about losing? Vicious blows aren't great to lose. Jenny doesn't have anything to help him with his test. I think we're actually... He is going to burgle, I think. He's a 3 versus 2. Jenny can make him a 4 versus 2. See how we do. That's a skull. That's -2. So he does succeed and he gets 3 resources. So that is awesome. Alright, that is the investigator's turn. We've taken down 1 brood. That's good. Can we take down another brood? Would it be crazy to take down 2 broods? Let's give it a try. Broods have to move first though. Let's see where they are going. Brood at the 10-acre meadow is staying at the 10-acre meadow. Brood at Cold Spring Glen is heading up toward the blasted heath. Okay. Jenny and Skids get some cards and resources. Jenny draws a double or nothing, gains a couple resources. And Skids, he will draw a card. There's another beat cop. Okay. I think Zebulon's a bit better though at this point. And he gains a resource. We add a doom and we get some cards. Jenny went first, so she will get the first encounter card. It is another Altered Beasts. It will go on our bad brood. He is, if he hits us, we take 2 horror damage. And he's +1 fight and +1 health. Skids, what's his card going to be? Uh-oh. Each brood of enemy moves in play moves once toward you. So this guy moves to the Whately Ruins. And this guy moves... Now we have a... well, yeah, he has to move up here. So he moves there. So... And that surges into a Rotting Remains. Yet more problems for Skids with the whole Rotting Remains. However, Skids is in a better position than he has been in a long time. He's a 3 versus 3 against that thing. Does Jenny have anything that can help? Nope. So it's a 3 versus 3. There's a -4, so he's going to take 3 sanity. So that is going on our buddy Zebulon here. Zebulon's already paid off big time. All right. Now, if we can put some clues on this brood, we do have a chance of taking it down. I'm a little worried about Skids, though. He needs to get some more sanity here. Okay. Jenny has 4 actions. We could try to track this brood down. I really want to stay away from that one because of this one that we've built up, because he's going to just hit hard. If Jenny moves, evades it, dumps 2 tokens on it, she could take 2 shots at it with... Yeah, let's do that. Jenny will move to the Blasted Heath. It is a 4-shroud location with 3 clues. You lure the creature into a patch of sand. Investigators in Blasted Heath may, as a group, place up to 2 of their clues on an abomination enemy in Blasted Heath. Well, that works out really well for us. We can... Oh, we could kill it this turn. Could kill it this turn if we are lucky. All right, let's see. We can lure it into the sand. That's easily enough. Then we dump. If we evade it, we can put another 2 clues on it with Ibn Ghazi, or we can just save that for the 3rd brood. Okay, we will do the sand trick, I think. We will put 2 on the brood of Yog-Sothoth. So she is sitting at a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 6. Now, we could try to kill it this turn if we hit it 3 times, but that is pretty tough to do. And Skids isn't really in a position to do it either. He's a 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, he's a 7-2 with Zebulon in play. I think we can take this brood down this turn. Let's give it a shot. Okay, Jenny's 7 versus 6. She'll spend 1 resource for Arcane Studies to make it an 8 versus 6. Let's see how we do. That's a skull. Now, if we remove 2, or we fail, or we spend 2. No, we're going to spend 2, play our sure gamble to make that a +4, so we succeed. We will spend another resource, to go 8 versus 6 against the brood. That is a hit. That's a -2, and we will go... God, do we have any? We just don't have anything to throw at it. We will go 8 versus 6 again as her final action. Come on. Oh! Yes! Yes, we can remove the 2 clues from a brood. Oh no, we can't do that. Can we? Oh no. Okay, that's an interesting question. Does the removal of the clue, it probably recalculates. So we would be down to 3, 4 versus 6, which would be a failure. So we do fail that time. Okay, well. Oh, we came so close. So close. Skids will move. Skids is a 7 versus 6 because of Zebulon. Zebulon gives him +1, so he's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 6. Here we go. First attack. Oh, reveal another token. If you fail, gain a horror. Let's see. That's a 2, so we fail. He takes a horror. Okay. That was his second action. Third action. Let's try it again. -3. He will take his special action. We got to evade it. We've got to evade it this time. We can't fight it again. She will spend her manual dexterity to give him 4, 5, 6 versus 3. And yeah. Because Skids will go down if we fail this. We're going to go 7 versus 3. Oh my god, I can't believe it! Oh my god. Okay, that's really annoying. Skids just goes insane. Oh man. Oh, come on. That is disappointing. Alright, so the brood will attack back and Skids will go insane. Oh, the auto fail just hammers me there. Okay, so he goes insane. That's going to be his third mental trauma. Unfortunately, Zebulon didn't do quite enough. Yeah, that rotting remains that added 3 sanity to him really hurt. She's going to take 2. So she's at 6, so she's nearly dead. Oh, we came so close. Unbelievable. Okay, well, we don't even get a card out of it from the manual dexterity. I guess the broods are on the move, so let's see how that goes. Well, I didn't specify a brood there. Let's do this guy, the one at Watley, at the Watley Ruins. He is off to Cold Spring Glen. And the one at the Blasted Heath, where is he off to? He is staying at the Blasted Heath, so we have another chance to kill him next turn. All right, we get a resource. We get it. There's another manual dexterity and a couple resources. And we add a doom. And we get an encounter card, which is a sorted and silent, which means we cannot hang out there anymore. What's she at? 6 out of 7? I don't know. 2 broods might be all I can muster here. Man, Skids going down there hurt. Those stupid rotting remains. All right, well, we get a crack at killing this thing. She is a 7 versus 6. We can go 8 versus 6. Let's see. There's a failure. 8 versus 6 again. Oh, for frick's sakes. Oh! That's a failure. Just unfortunate. I've got nothing to evade him with. I'm going 7 versus 6. Damn it. So close. I thought we could take this one down, but man, oh man. So what are my... I'm 3 versus 3. Let's try to kill it. 7 versus 6. That's a failure. 7 versus 6. And that's a failure. Leo will take the hit from the brood. Oh, I'm dead anyway. Shoot! From the sorted and silent gets me. Well, I did it, so yeah, I'm not going to bother retconning that, because my other option would have been to try to evade it, but my evade would have been at 3 versus 3, and that the odds of that happening are... Well, actually, I had the manual dexterity and that, so we will retcon this for a second. Let's go back. Okay, so we missed it twice. So we need to evade it and move is basically what we need to do. So we're going to pitch everything to the evade. So she is a 6 versus 3. If this fails, I don't know what we do. That is reveal another token. And if we fail, we take a horror. Oh dear. Okay, so that kills us too? I think it does. Alright, I take a horror, which I have to put on Leo, but then I take 2 more and I go insane. Anyway. Oh, the auto fail just hammered me at the end of this game. Unbelievable. Holy smokes. Well, that is going to be it. Unfortunately, Jenny and Skids were only able to take down one of the broods before they got greedy. They went after the second one, and I thought for sure we would be able to take it down. And unfortunately, we just didn't have enough to do that. Even with good old Zebulon, we had a lot of chances. And so I've played this now, I don't know how many times, and I think this is my least favorite scenario of the ones we've seen so far. The fact that you need to use willpower in order to take down these broods is really demanding for an investigators like Jenny and Skids, who have, their willpower is Skids' willpower is woeful, but Jenny's isn't too bad, but it's nowhere near Agnes category. And Agnes, I haven't played my Agnes deck against this scenario yet, but I think it would fare a whole lot better. If she's starting at a 5 and you get your Holy Rosary or a Peter Sylvester out, she's at 6, so she's even, and we haven't even talked about clues yet, so she could be rolling 10 versus 6s instead of 7 versus 6s, and that's really the best that Jenny can get herself up to without using her arcane studies. So yeah, I think this is really tough on low willpower investigators, and a lot of the cards that you would typically use, like Vicious Blows and whatnot, while there are other enemies in the encounter deck, if they don't show up like they didn't in this game, those cards are just dead cards in your hand. And even with having the, rogues have adaptable and they can swap out cards between games, but that's really only 2 cards before you have to start spending experience, and I just don't think I can modify my deck enough between Blood on the Altar and this one in order to do very well. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing. We did take down 1 brood, so I guess we will get 1 XP at the least. Unfortunately, 4 broods will escape into the wild, which I believe puts us at 4 Doom tokens on the first agenda for where Doom awaits. So Jenny and Skids are really going to be on the back foot when they begin that scenario. So they are going to have to really move fast if they hope to beat that one. But that is a scenario for another day. Jenny and Skids go down to defeat after taking down 1 brood. I really had high hopes there, but man, that auto fail token hit me at probably 2 of the worst times. So that is going to do it for me today. If you enjoyed this playthrough, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps the channel a great deal. If you saw that I made any mistakes, or you have any questions about the playthrough, or you just want to chat about this great game, please leave a comment down below. If you'd like to drop me a line, I can be reached at manfromlang@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter at manfromlang. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.